In every new world I begin, one of the first things I need is a small, good-looking, efficient and easy-to-build house. The first thing we do is the shape or frame of the house, and to make it easier I divided the building phase into 4 parts. Mostly this is a block for block tutorial, but if you want to replace a block with another, that's fine. I used stone bricks for the frame and the floor of the house, because they fit very well in the foundation's role. I think the environment here makes it easier to understand the dimensions of the building, so I don't have to confuse you with numbers like 5 blocks tall and 11 blocks wide. Another thing I like about houses like this is that you don't have to spend too much time on building them, and that's the thing. I don't like doing a block for block tutorial on big structures because that would be a very long and boring video. As you can see here, I connect the pillars of the house to complete the basic shape of it. And basically after that we are almost done with the frame of the house. The last thing I will make is a fireplace and its chimney, and that's one of my favorite aspects of this house, but before that I will put some blocks in the front side of it to give you a better understanding of the final look of this small building. Now on the side of it goes a fireplace with its chimney. I think a house that has one becomes more familiar and warm, if that makes any sense. Of course it gives the building a more interesting shape, so I couldn't leave out the fireplace from this design. This is a tricky part, so be careful, and if something goes wrong next, you know where to look at. A few more blocks here and we are done with the most difficult phase of this house. After that the frame is done, so you have a basic driver to work with, and everything speeds up. Now a very easy and fast part, the walls, and we are getting closer and closer to the final form. As you can see, the first wall is the one of the main entrance of the house. After that I use spruce planks for all the other sides. I leave some gaps, and that's because we will make windows there. It's obvious now that all the different parts of the house have a common style, and that's exactly what I wanted. Yes, if you keep them all the same, it's very possible that the final structure will be boring, but that's where the last part of this tutorial comes in. We can have the same style, and that's a time saver when you build something, while at the same time making it interesting. Of course a house feels kinda pointless without its sustainability, and that's the garden, which by the way not only makes it efficient, but it gives a wonderful look to the structure. Now another easy and fast part, the roof. I used oak stairs and not the spruce ones to make it a little bit more interesting. As you will see on the top of the windows, I placed the stairs upside down to make them pop out a little bit more. Now before we continue with the second layer of the roof, first place around the inner part of it stone bricks. There is a more technical reason in why I do this, so don't worry about it now. I use stone brick stairs here in order to not make it boring. Just don't forget to put the blocks and not the stairs on the top of this window. So the reason I chose to go with other stairs now is simply because there is one more layer of roof, and by using the same stairs it becomes very boring. And we are almost done with the roof now. Because the house has attic too, I do one more thing. Just copy me very careful here, because it has to be perfect in order to work for a small house like this. Also, you have to place the spruce slabs on the lowest layer, otherwise you won't be able to fit. And that's another thing I really like about this house. It's small, but it has an attic for extra space. And now my favorite part. The outer decoration. It's more than it sounds, and it's really fun. Basically, by decorating the other side of the house with flowers and other plants or blocks, all the different parts of it glue together, and suddenly it becomes alive. For this phase there are no rules, and you don't have to copy me if you don't want to. The only key here is the randomness. Just place other blocks that fit with the palette in random places, and that's what really gives it life. Especially the mossy stone bricks here are a great choice, and you don't want a lot of them, plus you can craft them not very expensive. And of course the vines take it to another level. They break the flat walls and they fit with a lot of blocks. One thing they are best at doing is that they make the whole house fit with the environment. Of course, if you will not build the house in Nether. Just like the other blocks, just put them in random places. But keep in mind that if you overdo it, your house will look abandoned. Of course, sometimes you might want a style like that. A small thing to keep in mind to make the attic work. Put 2 ladders here and a trapdoor on the top. And when you are up, something weird will happen. The blocks will float. And that's because we used slabs. Just place a slab on the bottom and everything should be fine. Thank you for watching, it really means a lot to me. I hope this house will be useful to you. And of course, pick your flavor. So I just made a house inside a house.